Right then, hello everyone. This one's going to be a little bit different. So, there's this guy called Asmongold. Many people on the internet know him. I know him. And a fair while ago, he watched Star Citizen's Star Engine demo. I'm sure I can put the footage somewhere up here. And he was commenting on how it looked very cool, and he was looking forward to seeing what it could do because it was a feature of the game. We've had a few bits of the Squadron 42 editions added into the live servers now. Not all of them, by a long shot, but some. And it's getting there. It's like 45% of it, I think. But now, he's recorded a video where he's having a conversation and discovering about a legatus package. If you don't know, the legatus package, as you can see from the image in the background here, it's a $48,000 game package. It has changed in price over the years, and it contains damn near everything that Star Citizen offers. So every ship, every piece of armor, every piece of sub-flare, even some rare items you can't get anymore. I think like the Dragonfly, the Star Kitten Dragonfly thing is in there as well. So there's like rare items and stuff you can't get anymore. It is everything because you're throwing a ridiculous amount of money at this game. That is to say, I'm not judgmental about it. If you have that kind of FU money and you want to spend this kind of money on Star Citizen and you want to support the game, you do you. I don't. I spent a fair bit of money on the game, but not $48,000 worth. Anyway, this is Asmon's reaction to it and his conversation with somebody who has done this. Because I think he's just trying to get his head around it. I don't think Asmongold realizes that you need like a crew to operate these big ships in game. I think he sees that you get the big nasty ships in game, but you need a crew, and there's a lot of facets I think that we're going to find out about this. So I'm just going to watch it. I'm not going to put the whole hour because this video is an hour long, but I am going to chop it down and react to certain bits, and then I'll have a little conversation afterwards about what we've done. But I just thought it would be interesting to upload because it's a subject I find interesting, seeing it from an outsider's perspective, because I've been playing Star Citizen for 6-7 years, and I don't want to say I'm jaded because I try and keep an open mind, and I'll still criticize CIG for shitty decisions, but seeing it from somebody else's perspective who's barely sort of scratched the surface is a bit more interesting. So I'm going to play this thing and we're going to see.
All others, this definitive armada is an equal match to the noble title of legatus. 175 vessels from every manufacturer of note. This perfect collection, including all ships released and concepted through 2953, empowers every fleet commander to forge a lasting legacy, leading humanity towards a brighter future. It's $48,000.
Yes,
I don't believe this.
I don't think he understands that they put this in the game because they it was because the people who wanted to spend this amount of money didn't want to buy every single ship individually.
This is only,
it has a legit reason for being there, even if it is a
no
ridiculous amount of money.
They've had that package multiple times. It's very real, and there are some whales that have multiple purchases of this. There are packages you can't see because you aren't part of the Admiral Club.
Yeah, you can't see this because
You want
it's
to know
not
what's really
Concierge.
sad about this? Concierge levels and rewards. Chairman's Club. High... Jacapaco, top hat, and monocle. As High Admiral, you understand that a hangar is more than a place to park your vessel.
Don't forget your whiskey and your golden pistol.
Grand Admiral. Space Marshal. Wing Commander. Praetorian. Legatus Navidum.
Legolas.
The Chairman's Club was introduced in January 2018. There will be even more Chairman's Club members to enjoy, including in-person events hosted by our staff provided in intimate settings, limited merchandise designed with comfort and style in mind,
Well, they did
and
the merch,
exclusive
but the in-game
pledges
stuff,
available
unfortunately,
only
hasn't
to
materialised. In fact,
Concierge
the in-game
members.
stuff has gotten worse as it's gone on.
I'm gonna be real. I think that if you're dumb enough to spend this much money, either you are an oil prince and it literally does not fucking matter,
Yeah.
or you bought a lot of GameStop stock at the right time, or it's better in their hands than yours. A fool and his money are soon parted, and the fool was lucky enough to be together with the money for enough time in the first place.
Should have spends it all on the Star Citizen, yeah.
Dad's credit card, yep, there it is. It's like luxury, I don't know, like conspicuous consumption, and so it attracts other whales anyway.
Or even the poor person with $5 in their dad's credit card.
All
They're
FOMO.
literally getting 23,000 people advertisement right now for free.
It's the power of marketing.
Right? And somebody's going to be curious.
I think they should give me the $48,000 package for free. Then I mean, the way that you're saying it, I feel like that's just fair. So let's talk.
Or do the free flight.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about the Admirals Club and the Concierge levels, because this is very interesting to me. So, how does this work?
I suppose I should stop and correct at this point. You don't get into private servers by getting Concierge. You used to be able to get onto the PTU by paying Concierge. That is not the case now, unless you spend like $25,000 what's on there now, because of the way they released in waves. But you didn't get onto private servers by getting into Concierge. That's not how that worked.
So you're telling me that you have to dox yourself to get into these companies so they can hold your real life hostage if you betray them?
Pretty much the big.
This is talking about corporations, which is Star Citizen's guilds. You don't have to dox yourself to join a corporation. You do if the corporation and the people that you're trying to play the game with are arseholes. But most of the time, you just join a corporation like you would join a guild in World of Warcraft, or a free company in Final Fantasy, or a corp in EVE. I know the corps in EVEs are sadistic, like they've been talking about. I played EVE for a long time. But normally that's just arseholes being arseholes. That's nothing to do with the PTU or the playable universe. This is just people outside the game being dicks.
Name companies, and they're huge. They have like hundreds of thousands of members, right? It's crazy. And
he's still not really explained the concierge, which is what bothers me. He's not gone through how the concierge works, because that's the question that was asked. He's just gone off on a tangent.
$1,000. So you're technically part of this concierge club. And do you enjoy any benefits that are provided to you by the people that make the game as a result of you being part of the Chairman's Club?
Back.
Look, I won't lie, I haven't used any of the benefits from the Chairman's Club.
Could you?
I mean, I guess I could.
Theoretically.
Yeah. I mean, I get emails, so I know when like special events are going to come out, and I get access to them like a few days before they're released, right? So that's why most of the ships I think get bought out, because the chairmans and the ones above me know that they're coming out.
I suppose I can clarify a bit on that. You get emails sent to you when there's exclusive things. I say exclusive. You get offers so that you can buy sometimes ships that aren't ordinarily on sale. Again, FOMO. So certain ships that wouldn't normally be on sale, or when ships that have been released for concept or have been released otherwise come on sale, the Chairman's Club people who are concierge have access to them a little bit longer. So if they're on sale, say for a month, just as an example, then the concierge will have access to them for a month, and then maybe 1 or 2 weeks afterwards they have access to them a bit of a longer time. As for perks, one of them was getting access to the PTU. So the PTU is private from the playable universe, so PTU is the testing universe. We used to get blanket access to it whenever they release clients. However, some time ago they changed it so that we do not, and now it is done in waves, as I mentioned earlier on. And wave 1 tends to be people who have paid silly amounts of money for concierge, so you're talking like $25,000, or subscribers who are paying monthly. So you can see why that drives up a bit of controversy from that. It is what it is. It's a form of income for them. It is what it is. And then they release it in waves. So like wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and it will get down to all backers can join the PTU. And that's normally when the PTU is a lot more stable and they've released several builds over and over and over again, and they're happy that that is going to be like a live release candidate, and then they let everyone in. The Chairman's Club perks, as I said, one of them is being able to buy ships. The other ones are the items you get in game, which are on this page, but it doesn't tell you. So $1,000 is the top hat and the whiskey and a golden pistol. $2,500 is a golden sniper rifle. $5,000 is a set of golden armor. $10,000 is a heavy fighter called the F8 Lightning and a special paint for it, which not a lot of people were happy about because the paint was not very good. $15,000 is the executive F8, so the F8 heavy fighter again, which has like a black and gold paint scheme for it. It's a very cool looking skin, but again, it's a skin and you paid $15,000 for it, or should I say you paid $5,000 more for it. $20,000, I can't remember if there's anything for $20,000, sorry, but $25,000 you get a golden, or an executive, sorry, 600i, which is a fairly big ship in game. If you don't know, I call it the Origin bar of soap because it looks like a big bar of soap. It's one of my favourite ships in game, and it's a very, very nice looking, at least to me, if a bit tacky, black and gold executive skin for that. So there are benefits in game. They are not great, I should say, because all of these items that you have in game, apart from the ships, so the weapons, the top hat, and so the top hat and the whiskey is kind of useless unless you want to run around wearing a top hat and a monocle, which is kind of funny. The pistol and the sniper rifle and the armor, you can lose them. So if you get killed, it's like RuneScape, you lose your shit and then that's it, gone. You have to wait until they do a master wipe of everyone's inventories, which they don't do very often, and then you get your stuff back. And currently, one of the main gripes that a lot of people have, myself included, is that there is no way to claim back these items if you lose them. So they're out there, you spending this money, and then you lose the stuff, and then it's gone. There's no way to get it until they do a big reset, or they implement these terminals that allow you to go and buy these items, and it's one thing they still have not done. One of my big gripes with the game, and lots of others. Anyway, Concierge perks primer. That took a few minutes.
Yeah.
And they just eat it up before it even releases, and then once it's released to everybody in the public, it's already sold out.
Okay. Where to begin? So the first guy had obviously spent a fair bit of money, and he was disappointed from what it sounded like because he had played and then it wasn't what he expected, and he had not gotten what he wanted out of the game. The second guy just seemed to want to rant and rant and rant and rant and rant. Yeah, as for if you ever see this, then by all means, please come and play the game. The best thing you can do, either on stream or off stream, probably on stream, obviously, is just to do it. Just download the game. Even if you don't want to pay, just come on the free fly. Buy one of the standard game packages. There is more than enough people in this game who will say, we have these ships. You can fly them. You don't have to buy them. People can just let you fly their ships, and you can say, okay, you can come and fly my ship. Or you can do the zero to hero thing. Like I said, you can just start with no money and then go and do the basic missions in the game. It's the best way to experience the game, in my opinion, because you can work your way through the content that is in the game. So box missions, bounties, mining, cargo running, when the various ones work again, because they're always buggy. That is the nature of Star Citizen, sadly. But it is the best way to experience the game, is to start with nothing and build your way in. Personally, from my perspective, I am about 3k in, I think. I have the golden sniper rifle. But again, as was discussed in the video, this is money that I've put into the game over the years that I have been playing it, because I have been playing it consistently, on and off, throughout this entire time. I make YouTube content for it. You're watching this. So it is, like I said, money that I've put in. I'm happy with that. when I think about the money that I have put into other games, so the latest one would be Final Fantasy XIV, dumping money into that because of a subscription. EVE Online. The worst offender is World of Warcraft. I dread to think how many thousands of pounds I have given to Blizzard over the decade/2 decades or more of time that I have played World of Warcraft, with the subscription and all the expansions and everything that I bought outside, like mounts and God knows what. I don't play World of Warcraft anymore, so you could call that I'm happy with what I played with that. I'm not bothered about that anymore. Still play Final Fantasy XIV. That's probably going to be coming in this soon. But I'm happy with the money that I have spent on Star Citizen. Have I stopped? Have I stopped spending money? No. If there's interesting things that I think will be cool to add to my collection, so armor, skins, sometimes ships. The ships I tend to buy are for the video content, so I will sometimes upgrade ships, or I will try ships for the sake of making video content on them, because that's what I like doing. But yeah, I'm happy with the purchases I've made in this game. The whole thing about this that's on screen now, about the Javelin being like the $48,000 ship. The Javelin isn't $48,000. For clarity's sake, the Javelin cost $2,500, I think, round about that. And yes, it does sell out instantaneously when it is put on sale, because even though currently it is a JPEG, it is in-game, as that person said. It's in-game as an NPC ship, though you can go on certain ones in certain events. I'm not going to get into the whole thing. Sometimes there's like a yearly event that you can go and tour one, but they are making it now so that we can eventually we'll be able to board them, not before too long, I think. This is all going to be when the single player game comes out, Squadron 42, which is probably going to be next year by the sounds of it. They're in the polishing phase now, and they still have work to do on that, but I do think that's closer to release than a lot of people think. I think that's going to be next year. When should you join? Because you have all of your Elden Ring and such, if you're going to join. And this is for anyone else who's thinking about taking the dip as well, not just for Asmon here. I would say towards the end of this year, I think is probably the best bet. So the end of this year, if you really want to get into the meat of the content, so the end of this year / early next year. So we have the November CitizenCon, so that's like their big convention that's coming up, and that we'll have all the cool information, and it's like BlizzCon for Star Citizen essentially. We are going to have the server meshing technology, which will make things run smoother, albeit not all that smoother, but smoother. So better performance in the servers. We will have Pyro. So Pyro is the next star system. So in-game currently, everything takes place in one star system. That system is called Stanton. And you have several planets in Stanton and then several moons around those planets, and you can go and visit, as was demoed in the Star Engine video. You can move from system to system in the game's lore by jump gates, and the next jump gate that takes us from another system currently will be Pyro. Stanton is very commercialized and lots of law and all the rule of law, so you can get punished, you go to prison, blah blah. Pyro is completely lawless. It's like nullsec in EVE, just anything goes. So it's going to be a clusterfuck when Pyro comes out, because there's going to be lots of ganking and lots of fun. Pyro is going to be a bigger system, so when you are playing, you're going to have to make different choices about the ships that you want to take, because you're going to need more fuel to cross more distance. You'll need ships to act as carriers if you want to move smaller ships around, unless you're staying at stations and things. So it's going to be an interesting time, which I think is why it's more of a better option than someone who wants to jump in now. Right now, everyone is very fixated on what goes on in Stanton, and it's the same thing. So if you want to experience it now as what we've had, plus the additions and some of the content that's come along, as well as and just see the game how it is and the ships, join in, have fun. Don't spend more money than you need to. People will throw ships at you. You just say, can I try someone's ship? And someone will go, yeah, come to X, or I will come to you. If I see you in game and you call me out and say, can I fly this? And I go, I've got it. I'll bring it to you and you can fly it. But if you want to wait and see how the game changes in a sort of when it's been launched with an expansion, so like Dawn Trail is coming for Final Fantasy, Pyro is going to be an expansion to what Star Citizen is now. So I think that will be a cool time for you to join. And Pyro is slated to be towards the end of the year / early next year. So I think that would be the cool time. So I hope that was informative. It was a little bit of a different video for me. I don't normally do reactions. I'm not much of a reaction person, but I thought this going into it blind was an interesting subject to try and cover. I'm a bit miffed because he really didn't talk to somebody who'd paid an absurd amount of money for this game. I know people who've paid for the legatus pack and they're happy with their purchase. At the end of the day, if you've got that kind of fuck your money, as we described, then I think it's not going to affect you either way. You're just going to enjoy it and then go and do something else with the amount of money that you've got. But yeah, a different one from me. So I don't really know what to say aside from that. Going on, I suppose, for people who may watch the end of the video and wondering what's going on content-wise, I have some stuff from Zenithret, the last mission. It is all over the place because Zenithret usually is. So I'm going to try and do like a highlights reel of stuff that's gone on playing with my corp, my organisation, my guild, for people who may be watching this and wondering what the hell's going on content-wise. So there's going to be some of that. And because I haven't normally done something like it and I want to try something like this a bit more, Final Fantasy XIV. I do play Final Fantasy XIV. I have been since the beginning of COVID. It was like my COVID game and I have enjoyed it immensely because I've been playing Final Fantasy since FF6. So I think I'm going to either VOD or stream Dawn Trail. So just as something different. Like I said, I tend to do this channel for me and for fun, and I think it will be fun to do some Final Fantasy content. So aside from that, thank you very much for watching. This was a weird one. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you think I deserve it, please give the video a like and a sub if you fancy sticking around. If you want to try Star Citizen, you can use my referral code on screen when registering. That gives us both in-game credits to help us both out as well. See you in the next one.